lose.
Right.
So if he gives Donald Trump advice, it's to help him lose, not to help him win. So, yeah, I think Trump handled that fantastically. And, if you look at all of the literally hundreds of thousands of people in total that have been at these rallies, and what signs of evidence of violence has there been? One crazy old guy in his 70s, sucker punched a protester. That was it. I mean, that was because of Trump. That was because this guy was a little unhinged that did that. Okay, I mean, to have that many rallies with that many people and all these crazy protesters and almost no violence at all is almost statistically a miracle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's Trump shouldn't be condemned. He should be praised.
Yeah. Welcome to the Silent Majority here. Caller, area code 941. Welcome to the Silent Majority here. You have, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian from Florida.
Hi, Brian. How you doing?
Hey, Brian.
I just wanted to say something about Ted Cruz. Back when he was caught saying that he was giving Trump a big bear hug, I read into that, when he said bear hug, I said, bear hug, that's what a wrestler gives somebody when they want to strangle them. Mm-hmm. And I knew right then and there that something was wrong. And also when he said that he didn't want the media picking on his kids, Marco's kids, or Hillary's kids, I was like, Hillary's kids? Why wouldn't you say another Republican? Why are you saying Hillary's kids? And then I kind of knew right then and there, this guy's a phony.
Mm-hmm. Well, I kind of saw he was a phony when he actually said that Marco Rubio, his Gang of Eight partner there, would make a better president than Donald Trump. I said to myself, you're kidding, right? That's what he said that, basically. He said that a few after not the last debate, I think this was the debate before that. He said that, and I caught that, and I said, why would anybody say that? If you're a quote unquote outsider, and I had a show, the show number 32. If you guys want to go back and listen to it, go to Spreaker.com and just look up New Media Patriot Radio. It's show number 32. It says the title of it is Ted Cruz is not an outsider, and I explain why. And he's not an outsider, because he's basically controlled by the same donors. He's had a history of kind of playing both sides of the aisle here, just like an attorney would do. He's very meticulous in everything he does so that he's not to, alienate his base or alienate his donors. He walks that very fine line. And the reason why people say he's an outsider when he's really not is simply because the people in Congress do not like the way he's built his brand in Congress. They know that ultimately he is one of them, but they just don't like the fact that once he knows a bill is going to pass, he'll stand up for it and just to put up a show, just to build his brand of, hey, I'm fighting for you. But he's been very manipulative when it came to, once he knew the TPA was going to pass. I mean, he basically wrote an op-ed with what's his face? He wrote an op-ed in I believe it was the Wall Street Journal. And, promoting the TPA. Why would you, as a conservative, knowing, what this president has done 7 years prior to that, why would you give him any kind of authority like that? And then once he knew that bill was going to pass, all of a sudden and I remember this clearly. It happened in the summer. He was getting hammered on Twitter. All of a sudden. And then even when they interviewed him, they go, do you know what's in it? Yeah, I read it. How many pages is it? Oh, well, I don't know how many, but yeah, I read what's in the bill and this and that. And then ultimately, the only reason why he was against it was because there was this, something about the export import. But the basis of the TPA, he wasn't against it. He was for it. And this is what I'm saying. Once he knows the bill's going to pass, he puts up a show vote. I'm sorry it took so long.
Right. I think that whole green eggs and ham. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, caller.
I'm just saying that I think that the whole Republican-Democrat thing, I'm beginning to think there isn't really two parties. It's one party, and we just been bamboozled.
Mm-hmm. Well, Bill, what do you got to say, Bill? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I had to cut you off.
Oh, that's okay. I lost my train of thought there for a second. As far as the not two parties thing, yeah, I mean, it's you really can't differentiate at this point the DNC, the media, from the GOP establishment.
Right.
I mean, they're all singing the same tune, which tells us something. It tells us not that all of a sudden something happened to the GOP establishment and they went left. It tells us they've been there for a long time. They're just being exposed.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that, I mean, it is completely understandable that there are some problems. I mean, Donald Trump is bringing in an entirely new paradigm. He's exposing a lot of entrenched power. I mean, I'm surprised that things aren't more volcanic than they are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this has been a relatively peaceful thing so far.
Listen,
considering what's actually taking place.
Listen, when you have foreign leaders, the Pope, you have Mexico presidents who are some of the biggest drug runners saying, coming out against Donald Trump, you got to say to yourself, he's striking a chord there with these people. There's a reason why they're against him, and that's why I think he's resonating, and that's why I think he's going to ultimately win. Barring any voter fraud, which is running rampant in some of these states, I think he's going to win. On a landslide. What do you think about that, caller?
Yeah, it's that's scary though. Everything. The pressure that he's under, he's like a lion, and it's like, his strength and his courage. Just, when you think about us, what we go through, and you think about what he's going through, it's just amazing.
Yeah, and it's funny because I tweeted out a meme earlier today. It's gotten like 700 retweets, and it says it's a picture of Donald Trump, and it says, "Throw me to the wolves, and I'll return leading the pack." And that's the perfect statement for what he's done so far. I mean, just look at yesterday when you had that idiot who jumped the barriers and tried to attack Donald Trump. I mean, he doesn't need this. He walks around with a bulletproof vest. You think he needs this if he didn't want to bring this country back and bring pride into our country and protect our sovereignty, Bill?
No, I completely agree. I think that what we're seeing here is, as amazing as a man as Donald Trump is, that this is even bigger than Donald Trump. This is, many people have said, is a movement. Mm-hmm. America is fed up. One of the things I said on Twitter is that America is about 20% far right, 20% far left, and 60% who just want America to be great again. Okay? This is a movement of people who are unhappy because the America they see is not the America they believe should exist. There's a disconnect there. And they feel like, we should be so much better than we are. We're like a team full of great athletes, but the coach is calling terrible plays.
Right.
We're ready for halftime adjustments where we come out and we start playing good plays, calling good plays to take advantage of the athletes that we've got.
Yeah. Why should we give?
And I think that is why.
Exactly. Why should we give our staying with the football reference there? Why should we give our playbook away just because the other team sucks? We shouldn't give it away. We have to protect that. We've worked to develop those plays in that playbook. Why should we give that away at the expense of the American worker, the American citizen? And again, for those of you that are calling Donald Trump racist, know this one thing. Americans are composed of Muslims, Hispanics, Puerto Ricans, Indians, Caucasians, whites, all different kind of nationalities. So he wants to protect America. Wanting to protect America doesn't make him a racist. It just makes him a person who wants to protect our sovereignty. That does not make him racist, that's one of the things that pisses me off. People do not realize that we're composed of a lot of ethnicities and backgrounds. So it's pretty frustrating to me when I hear this.
That's just what the media says to try to turn it around. And another thing too about Donald Trump, people don't like his attitude. You got to think, who else would do that job? You need somebody like Donald Trump. We should be grateful we even have somebody that's willing to take that job, being a businessman. He's not a politician. And if we didn't have somebody like him, there would be no Donald Trump.
I'm sorry, Cola, what's your name again? I'm sorry. Hold on, Bill. Cola, what's your name?
My name's Brian.
Brian, okay. I forget to write it down because I have no call screener, and I'm sorry. Usually my call screener writes the names down. Okay, Brian. Yeah, you bring up a good point that you need someone strong, and all you have to look at is just, you know, the other day during the riots, who came out and bowed down to the enemy? It was the GOP, not Donald Trump. So you make a great point. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, that's fine. I kind of lost my.
I'm sorry.
My thought there.
I don't mean to keep interrupting you, Bill.
No. I mean, you know, this is the hard thing about radio interviews when you said multiple people talking, right, is that, you know, everyone wants to be polite. Nobody wants to talk over everybody. So sometimes, you know, it just happens. But, you know, I just roll with the punches. That's fine.
Okay, cool. Cole, you have another question? Because we have another call on the line.
No, you're fine. And I want to thank you two guys. And Bill, love you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bill, I'm sorry, Bill. I know you're sick, and I know how it is to be sick and trying to concentrate. It's very difficult.
I'm okay. I'm on the mend. I'm much better than I was a couple nights ago, and I did like a 2.5-hour show then, so I'll be okay.
Okay, cool. All right, I think
if you hear me coughing or something occasionally, I don't want people to think I've got something terribly wrong with me. I'm just getting over a little cold.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Okay, we have a caller, 404 area code. Where you calling from and what's your name? Hello, caller. Where you calling from? What's your name?
My name is Darshit.
What is your name?
Hello?
Yeah, what's your name?
Hello. My name is Darshit. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Darshit Shah.
Yep.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you? You have a question for me and my co-host Bill Mitchell?
Oh yes, yes. I come from India and I'm a legal immigrant and I support Mr. Trump and I'm an electrical engineering professor. Mm-hmm. And the moment I hear that he is going to change the trade deals, I think that was my man. That is a great thing. That is the only thing I look for because rest all other things are related to the laws and constitution and many things. But the moment I saw that only one person who is against that trade deals is this guy. Mm-hmm. And I believe that will change America. And I'm waiting that he becomes a nominee and becomes a president. And other than that, I think the way whatever he is doing is really great. I think he is doing great service to the nation and to the world, actually.
Wow.
So, and you guys are great as well, and especially Bill. Every morning I wake up, I read the tweets from the Bill, and then starts my work. So that's a great thing. Thank you.
Thank you for calling, and don't be a stranger to the show, and follow us on Spreaker. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks.
So there you have it. You have another. How many? That's 3 callers today that immigrated here legally, and that's the biggest frustration that you see with a lot of the Hispanic and the minority, Trump supporters who have basically, have gone through the process, like you're supposed to, and become, legalized, and they become frustrated because again, this is a nation of laws. Why can't we enforce the laws? I mean, there are laws. Every country has laws, and if you look at Mexico, they have some of the strictest immigration laws. Even I mean, there's no due process down there. If you cross the border in the South, they will put you in the bus and basically throw you back over. There's no due process the way we do it here.
Yeah, it's just crazy and.
Bill, you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I guess when you were in the middle of saying that, I was just, as I'm doing this, I'm hearing watching what people are saying on Twitter, and somebody asked me a question. I was momentarily distracted by it. So
tell him to call the show. You can't do 2 things at once, especially when you're sick. I know you're very talented. I know you're very talented and everything, but tell him to call the show. Give him the number so they can talk to you on the air. But I'm getting a lot of messages here. Actually, someone just messaged me, and they asked me a question here. It says, in my opinion, Donald Trump issues statement that establishment is low standards. That's too long to read. But anyway, we have another caller here. 214. Actually, we answered that already in the 214.
Is it 214? Is that me?
214 area code. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jay Medina from Dallas, Texas. I'm calling because I want to say two things. Number one, I'm a Trump Democrat, but if they succeed in rigging these elections like they have in Kansas, like they have in Iowa, like they did in